Revenge Films.
My name is Charlotte. I'm 24 years old, just a pretty ordinary office worker. I've always been the quiet, reserved type, and finding a boyfriend has never been easy for me. These days, I live in a pet-friendly apartment with my dog, John. John is a white chihuahua, and just like me, he's got a gentle, timid personality. I met him at a pet shop where he was cowering away from the other dogs. The moment I saw him, I thought, I have to take this little guy home, and that's how we found each other. Now, John is my only family. After graduating from college, I got a job in my hometown, but I deliberately chose to live far away from my parents' house. The reason? Because I can't stand my family. Growing up, it was me, my parents, and my older sister Yvonne, a family of 4. But my parents doted exclusively on Yvonne and never showed me any affection. My sister is different from me. She's outgoing and she's beautiful. My parents would constantly say things like, "Your sister is so radiant and full of life. Why are you so plain and boring?" They looked down on me for being quiet. They gave Yvonne whatever she wanted and spared no expense on her lessons and hobbies. But for me, "You need to make sacrifices for your sister." They refused to spend money on me, and when I wanted to go to college, they were dead set against it. I had to beg through tears before they finally gave in, but they told me I'd have to pay my own tuition through part-time work. Balancing school and work was absolutely exhausting. That's when I decided, once I graduated, I'd cut ties with my family. My sister had no idea and would casually say things like, "Once you land a good job, you'll help support me, right?" She'd always look down on me. Whenever I was even slightly better than her at something, her pride would be wounded and she'd fly into a rage. When I got a boyfriend in college, she said, "How dare someone like you have a boyfriend, Charlotte?" And she tried to steal him from me. My boyfriend was so terrified when she suddenly came on to him that he pulled away from me. After that, I couldn't bring myself to date anyone, and I still don't have a boyfriend up until now. I know my sister turned out this way because of how our parents raised us, favoring one over the other, but I wanted nothing more than to never see any of them again. Despite my wishes, my sister suddenly reappeared in my life. One day, when I came home, I found a wedding invitation from Yvonne. When I looked at the groom's name, it was coincidentally John, just like my dog. My sister was clearly sending me this invitation to brag about her international marriage. Of course, I didn't want to go to the wedding, but since she's my actual sister, I couldn't exactly skip it. With a heavy heart, I checked the attending box and sent back my reply. A few days later, I got a phone call from Mom, the first in ages. "Don't you dare show up looking shabby at the wedding. The groom is wealthy, so don't embarrass us." And that's what she said. Even though I hadn't heard from her in so long, all she did was hurl insults at me one-sidedly. I was utterly exasperated. The day of my sister's wedding arrived. Because of the groom's circumstances, the ceremony was being held in Hawaii, so I headed to the venue with my dog. There was a pet hotel nearby, so I decided to go inside the venue first to check the location before dropping him off. Fighting back my gloomy feelings, I entered the venue and immediately my sister came rushing over with her fiancé. When she saw my dog, she said, "Ew, what is that mangy stray? It's filthy. Don't bring that disgusting thing here. Go dump it somewhere right now." I held back my anger and replied, "I am literally on my way to the pet hotel right now." Then out of nowhere, she said, "I'm sorry for stealing your boyfriend." I was completely baffled. The groom's face looked vaguely familiar, but I'd never dated a foreigner in my life. I couldn't help but say, "Huh?" Then Mom came over and said, "Your sister told me everything. There's no way a plain girl like you could handle an international marriage. It's only natural that your beautiful sister would take him from you, so just accept it." She was saying the most absurd things. Then my sister continued, "I saw on your Instagram that you wrote, 'John is my boyfriend,' so I knew right away you were dating a foreigner. Then I staked out your workplace, and when I saw you talking to John, I made my move and stole him from you." She laid out the whole situation for me. I had jokingly referred to my dog John as my boyfriend on Instagram, but I had no idea why she thought her fiancé was my boyfriend. I racked my brain trying to remember, and then it hit me. About 3 months ago, after work, I was walking in front of my office building when a foreign man approached me. That was my sister's fiancé. At the time, he'd said,
"You're beautiful! Wanna grab a drink with me?"
I was scared because a complete stranger was saying this to me, so I said, "No thanks," and tried to get away, but he was persistent, saying,
"Come on, let's go for a drink. I'll treat you."
I remember it was really hard to shake him off. When I realized my sister had witnessed that scene and misunderstood, I decided to tell her the truth. Huh? My boyfriend? I was talking about my dog, John. My sister said, "What?" and tilted her head in confusion. At that moment, the groom looked uncomfortable and said,
Well, you see."
He was nervously checking my sister's reaction. When she saw this, she shouted, "Wait, what's going on?" and got angry. Apparently, the groom had been deceiving my sister the whole time, even though she was the one who came onto him, thinking he was my boyfriend. When my sister realized she'd been tricked, she demanded to know why he did it. He said,
"You were just so beautiful that I had to make you mine, so I told a lie on the spot."
He made excuses. My simple-minded sister said, "Oh, is that all? Well, I guess it can't be helped then," and easily forgave him. Then turning to me, she said, "Sorry, but could you just leave your gift money and go? I don't want someone holding a filthy dog like you in my wedding venue." She said it with a condescending smirk. I replied, "I'm not giving gift money to someone who calls my dog filthy. Don't ever contact me again." And I left the venue. Furious that the trip had been a complete waste, I decided to enjoy some sightseeing with my dog before heading home. A few days later, I was casually watching the news on TV when a familiar face caught my eye. It was my sister's husband. The news story was about a marriage fraud ring that had been arrested for scamming people out of a total of $2 million. After the wedding, the man had taken all the gift money and disappeared without a trace. My sister and parents had fronted the costs for the ceremony, and when my sister realized she'd been swindled, she went to the police. The investigation led to the arrest of the entire fraud ring. Apparently, they'd already blown through all of the gift money partying, so not a single cent was recovered. After that, my sister and parents not only lost the money they'd spent on the ceremony, but also had to personally refund all the guests' gift money out of pocket. They lost everything. Once the money was gone, my parents turned on Yvonne and blamed her for everything, despite having spoiled her for years. When everyone who attended the wedding found out my sister had been scammed, her pride was so damaged that she withdrew from society completely. Now that her parents were no longer kind to her, my utterly defeated sister lost all her former brightness and became a shut-in. Without working or doing anything productive, she just stayed home eating and drinking. Her weight doubled. She's lost so much confidence that she'll probably never be able to seduce a man again. As for me, my dog's posts went viral on social media and I ended up publishing a photo book. The royalties brought in a lot of money, and my life became much more comfortable. On top of that, I hit it off with a guy from the publishing company during meetings about the photo book, and now we're dating. My life is fulfilling. I don't have to worry about my sister interfering anymore, so I can date freely without any concerns. From now on, I'm going to focus only on my own happiness and live my life looking forward.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.